Kicks 105.5. Good morning. I'm JJ. It's Wednesday, March 2nd. It's 7:51. Currently 19 degrees outside. I'll have your weather forecast coming up in just a little bit. But right now, we are going to speak with Mike Barrett from the Barrett Insurance Agency. Good morning, Mike.
Hey, good morning, JJ. How are you?
I am well. How are you?
I'm well. Not a bad day. So this morning, what I thought we would talk about, and I see this on social media a lot, all right? So social media could be anything. Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok. Yes, I'm guilty. I have TikTok. I don't post TikTok, but I do fall down the rabbit hole on occasion. But there are ads out there that say, hey, look, you should be shopping for your auto insurance every 6 months. No, you shouldn't. No. What these are companies that are saying, look, you should shop, and you're going to be getting quotes with all these companies, and you'll save. There's a couple of reasons why that's not necessarily a good idea. And I get savings. Don't get me wrong. I understand that if times are tough, you need to find places to cut corners and find savings, and auto insurance can certainly be one of those mechanisms. But there's also a reason to not. So every 6 months, rates don't change that often. There are certainly companies out there that I call the rabbit, and other companies I call the hare. The rabbit, of course, has bottom line pricing today, but then maybe their rates go up next time. And then there's the hare that kind of slow and steady. They don't change their rates a lot. Could you save some money if you shopped every 6 months? Probably. Think about loyalty. Think about experience with a company. Think about having your insurance with a company for a period of time. And now let's start factoring in some claims, okay? So let's say you need a windshield replacement. Let's say you need towing and labor or roadside assistance. Those are two things that are not normally a blip on any radar whatsoever with insurance. They're just there, and people, even though can be apprehensive to use it, they don't really go against you. Let's say you slip off a slidey road or a snowy road like this morning, and you hit a guardrail. So now you've got a glass claim that you filed, the towing and labor claim that you filed, now a collision. So if you've been with this company for a short period of time, now you've got a frequency of claims. And that's not going to bode well. That's going to either result in a stiff surcharge or rate increase or a non-renewal from that company because you're not profitable. You're having a lot of claims in a short period of time. Whereas for me, I like to use myself as an example. I tend to be a stickler of just liking what I like. So I've been with my auto insurance company since 2009. Haven't changed. I've shopped, but I've never found a price that was so significant in savings that it was worth moving. If I had that same three situations happen, so towing and labor, glass, and collision, my company wouldn't have any care in the world because I've had a long history of not having claims. So that's going to bode well for me. It's going to be a consideration for me. So you get some level of accident forgiveness when you've been with companies for a while. And most every company has that, whether it's well-known or not. So after a while, you really got to start thinking, okay, well, if you're with the same vehicle, you're not getting that much older, you have a good driving record, you're not necessarily going to see a significant savings if you're shopping every 6 months. You're just doing a lot of work to save maybe $10, $20, $30. So it's something that maybe you don't want to do. And then I'm not even factoring in that you might have a homeowner insurance policy and that you're with the same company for both. So there is some sense of keeping it with the same company. How often should you be shopping? 3 to 5 years is a good scenario, because over 3 or 5 years, there could be some material changes that make it worthwhile to see if the grass is greener elsewhere.
Right. And also, just from you talking, I had a question many years ago. Say many years ago, and I won't mention the insurance company.
Okay.
And I've never filed a claim, never had an accident. Nothing that I ever reported anyway.
Sure.
I mean, if I went off the side of the road and didn't damage my vehicle or anybody else or property, I'd just get somebody to pull me out.
Yeah.
But I was driving along and I was kind of in a rush and I got a speeding ticket. And that was pretty hefty speeding ticket.
Uh-huh.
But my insurance was about $300 every 6 months.
Uh-huh.
And once the insurance company got wind of that, they jacked my insurance up to over $2,000.
Wow. Okay, so that's a unique situation. And, speeding can be a surcharge opportunity for companies. Really, if it's 11 to 20 miles over the speed limit, it's not going to be significant. If it's over 20 miles, so you must have been just tooting along there.
Well, I was going downhill with a big old SUV loaded with people.
Hey, I'm not the cop. You don't need to explain it to me.
So I got to run on them to get around them, and I wanted to go fast enough because there was traffic coming the other way, so I had to get around them quick enough so I can get back in my lane.
Sure.
And so I just let it coast, because there was a hill going up.
Sure.
So, but apparently I was doing 85 and a 50.
Yeah, that's significant.
And yeah, and they nailed me pretty hard on that one.
Yeah, so that can become a problem, probably in most situations, because that's indicative of just being unsafe. I mean, granted, the circumstance for you, and I've been there. You know, if you're passing somebody, there's that chance that you may be going well above the speed limit. But it's one of those things where that would be a different consideration with most companies. So yeah, they whacked you pretty hard. I don't know if it would be
they did.
that necessary, but
I think it was a roundabout way of saying we're going to drop you.
Go away.
But we don't want to just drop you, but we're just making it convenient for you to drop yourself.
Yeah, we want to scare you away. Yeah, so that can happen. So yes, severe violations can be problematic no matter what. So DUIs. I don't care if you've been with a company for 20 years. If you're convicted of a DUI, it's highly likely that company will drop you. And significant speeds or significant violations can be a problem. Careless and negligent, things like that. So yeah, those are a whole different ball of wax.
Yeah, and with the speeding thing, one thing I didn't realize at the time, which I actually learned really quick, is that if you're passing someone, even if you're in a passing zone, you still cannot go above the posted speed limit.
Right.
So if the speed limit is 50 and you've got to do 55 to get around a person, even in a passing lane, you are in violation.
You are, yeah. So if they're going 49, just stay behind them because you're not going to get past them fast enough on a 2-lane highway. So, yeah.
So shopping around for car insurance. So I've been with mine now for about 4 years.
Yep.
And I do get a little bit of loyalty there.
Oh, yeah.
They do trim off a little bit every 6 months or so.
Yep.
And they raise your status. And,
right. You're getting things like accident forgiveness. Maybe some companies even offer claims reduction or deductible deduction. So maybe if you had a $500 deductible, you've been claims free for 3 to 4 years. Now you're at maybe a $100 deductible. So yeah, there's a lot of reasons why it can be beneficial to stay with the same company.
All right, Mike, looks like we are just about out of time.
Okay.
Folks want to talk to you about insurance and stuff like that, how do they reach you?
Just give us a call, 748-5224. We're at 229 Portland Street, St. Johnsbury. Online, thebarrettagency.com. Google, YouTube, and Facebook. Just look for Barrett Insurance Agency.
All right, Mike, thanks for coming in and sharing your overwhelming wealth of knowledge, insurance knowledge with us.
I got some oceanfront property in California or Arizona for you, too. So there you go. No, just kidding.
All right, Mike, thanks for joining us, and we'll talk to you again next week.
All right.